Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our weekly look back at the CBSI Hot Top 10 from 6 months ago. The cat has decided she's going to be the star of the show today, so yeah, as long as she's not knocking over the camera, I'm okay. So, as always, this look back is about trying to understand what made these books hot and trying to see what we can learn so that we make smarter decisions about the books we spec on, or if we should even spec at all. So, without further ado, this week, this week we're looking back at the list from October 19th, 2018, and I'm recording this on April 17th, 2019. So again, the dates are just so that you guys know when this information is most relevant, and hopefully will give you, so that if you're watching this a couple weeks later, you have an idea if something's changed and what that might have been. So, with that, we will get into the list. This week's list is got a few like hot indie books at the moment, a couple of covers. It's got a Golden Age book and a blind bag for that matter. So, with that, let's get started. At number 10 on the list is Ogre #1. This was kind of a hot indie series in the fall. It was a 3-issue series that was going to be low print run, so everybody was kind of jumping on it, and it jumped right out of the gate to a $10 to $15 book, and since then it's still basically a $10 comic for #1, but you can get the whole series for between $25 and $30 typically. The funny thing is, like, the limited covers, which were very limited, like 100 copies, are only going for like $30. So the whole thing is just kind of not super valuable. There have been 2 9.8 sales only. They went for $40 and $60. So not, nothing major or anything like that. But so this is a hot indie of the moment that has maintained a little bit of value, but it hasn't really done much. And given that it was a 3-issue miniseries, my guess is it'll kind of continue to just slowly fade into the background as people kind of forget about it. Unless something happens with it being optioned or something like that, or they come back with another series. At number 9 on the list is our Golden Age book, and it is Strange Stories from Another World, number 4. And this is obviously a little pre-code horror. So if you watch the Golden Age guys on the Comic Core the other night, you know that eBay and Go Collect are sometimes not the best places to try to get information on these kind of books. Basically, this book had a 4.5 went for $600, a 6.0 went for $900 back in September, October, in the fall, and when previously, like, an 8.0 had went for $525. So there hasn't been much of these sold since. There's only one. I can only find one slab sale since. Okay, Cat, you're gonna knock over the camera. Come here. And so only one slab sale since, and that was for lost my place on paper. I couldn't find the value on that. That was through Comic Link. I haven't gotten a membership with Comic Link yet, so I couldn't look up what that one went for. And that was another 6.0 sale. There have been a couple sales on eBay of raw copies. One went for $75, one went for $525. That really had to do with condition. There are some cheap reprints of this that are on eBay that they're selling like $20 or $30 for, so you definitely want to watch out for those. But really, there hasn't been much new information on this book. It's just pre-code horror. It's kind of a cool cover that I'm probably blocking out the cat with, even though she's like demanding attention tonight. With that, we're going to move up to number 8 on the list, and that is Legionnaires Zero. And this is the first appearance of Barry Allen's granddaughter, XS. And, alright, you're driving me crazy. Get down. And XS was basically rumored to appear on the Flash TV show. I don't know if she ever appeared or not. because I don't watch The Flash anymore. I used to, but I haven't watched it for a couple of years. Back then, this book jumped from basically a dollar bin book to $10. Since then, it is back to, okay, down. You're driving me crazy. Go do something else. Since then, since then it has dropped back to a basically $2 to $5 book. There are no slab sales on this one. This was a character, if anything, has made her appearance and come and gone and hasn't made an impact. And seriously? Okay. So, with that, we're gonna move on to number 7 on the list, and that is the source number 1. Just lay down. If you want attention, lay down. Okay. That is source number 1. This was another hot indie book of the moment. It had 3 covers. All of them were hot. They talk about all of them on here. The regular cover was going for $10 out of the gate. It is currently still going for $10 to $15. So the source has continued it's basically kind of stayed where it's at, and that really is the case for all these covers. What they jump to immediately is where they're kind of sustained. So 10 to 15 for the regular cover. There's only been 2 sales of 9.8 slabs since this came out. One went for 33, the other went for 65. Hard to get any kind of pattern off that yet. The black cover, which was a 1 in 10, jumped out of the gate to a $20 to $25 cover. And it appears to, or a $20 cover, sorry, and it appears to be maybe the most popular of the 3 covers, even though it's not the rarest. It's still going for $20 to $25, and it's got 3 slab sales of it, 60, 65, and 45. So a little bit of, that 50-60 appears to be what they're wanting for slabs for this, which is not much more than cover, or $10 plus slabbing fees. But, and then the 1 in 20 glow-in-the-dark cover immediately jumped to like a $25 book, but it is basically less popular than the black cover. It's going for $15 to $20, and the only slab sale of it actually went for $38. So not much lower than one of the regular covered slab sales. So it's an indie book. People like it. It's kind of kept a little bit of value, but not much has happened with the source kind of since it came out. So it just kind of sat there. People still like it. People are still looking for it, but it's not really gaining any traction or anything like that. And number 6 on the list, we have another kind of multi-book entry. This is Captain Marvel number 16. It's multi-book entry because there's some debate on whether or not this is the first appearance of Lavelle, or 17 is the first appearance of Lavelle. And this is from volume 5, so this is actually before, this was back when Marvel was, I don't know if Marvel was still around or not, but Carol was not Captain Marvel yet. I'm not sure on the timing on this. It might have been in between, but his death and Carol taking the name. But either way, this is related to Lavelle. So there's a debate whether 16 is a cameo or the first full, and 17 is the first, or if 17 is the first full. Appears most part people are going with 16. Then it was 16 was going for 20 to 25. For raw copies, were driving me crazy. I hope people are getting a laugh out of this. They might as well, because she's just, demanding attention and will not be denied tonight, but yet can't make up her mind where she wants to be. So I guess she's living up to her name of Harley at the moment. So raw copies are now going for 10 to 15, so it has come back a little bit. I'm not sure what made the first appearance of Lavelle spike a little bit in the fall. I don't know that there was any rumors of her being used in the Captain Marvel movie or anything like that. But anyway, I know there's been some rumors of cosmic characters and that kind of stuff, but at the moment, I don't see anything. She might get used in a future Captain Marvel movie, but as of right now, I don't know of anything really specific with her. So pairs of 17 was going from 15 to 20 back then, and 16 was going from 20 to 25. Sorry, I lost my train of thought with the cat. Raws now for 16 are 10 to 15, for 17 are 5 to 10, and pairs can be had for basically 15 to 20 of both books. A really interesting thing with this book, a 9.8 of issue 16 have been selling for between $170 and $250. And there's only been a couple of sales, but that's what they've went for. At the same time, there's been several sales of 9.6s for $50. And so here is a dramatic difference between the value of of a 9.8 and a 9.6, and whether or not you're really willing to pay $200 for a 9.8 when a 9.6 could be had for $50. This is why I'm not necessarily a 9.8 guy, but I know why some people are. But anyway, with that, we will move on to the top 5. Good grief, this video feels like it's forever for all the cat antics so far. And at number 5, we have this gorgeous Red Sonja Louis Perillo Virgin variant for number 20. If you go on the CBSI list, it listed as number 30. This is actually number 20. And this is a New York Comic Con Virgin variant. It's a con book. It's fairly rare. It's a beautiful Sony cover. Typically, these go for, these kind of books are, $40, $50 range. This came out super hot. It was going for $130. But since then, it has come back. It is now basically a $50 book for a raw copy, 9.8. There's only been 4 sales of 9.8s. They've all went for exactly $149.99. Probably the same seller. And there's still a couple listed for $149.99. But so this book is, you were paying $130 for it raw initially. Now you can get the 9.8 for basically that. So that is Red Sonja number 20. Don't let the CBSI site fool you. The Louis Perillo New York City Comic Con variant. At number 4, we have a familiar cover, but not exactly one we've seen before. This is Heroes in Crisis number 1, the Matina, but this is the foil variant that we talked about a couple weeks ago. We had the Virgin 1 in 200 Matina variant on here. This is the foil New York City Comic Con version of that cover. As you see, it actually has Heroes in Crisis written on it on the front cover. This is, usually these kinds of books are like $25 for these, $25, $30 for these foil variants that come out of cons. At the time, this one would immediately jump to $50 to $75. People just really love this cover apparently. Now it's still maintaining $40 to $50 for raw copies of this book. The funny thing is 9.8s for this book are a little all over the place. You can, in the last 3 months, they've been, or since the 1st of March, they've went anywhere from $50 to $150, but typically they're going for right around $100 for a 9.8 of this foil cover. So that is Here's a Crisis number 1, the New York City Comic Con foil variant. Number 3 on the list is Halloween One Good Scare, the Halloween 25th anniversary exclusive. This was a convention exclusive. There was only 3,000 of these in print. CBSI thought maybe it was getting a little heat in the fall because of the Halloween movie coming out. Basically it jumped from a $15 book to a $40 book in the fall. Now raws are still going for basically 40 plus. So it's basically hasn't really come back much. The funny thing is, I couldn't really find any slab sales of this other than there were 3 slabbed autographed 9.8s that all sold for basically $50 to $80 recently. And they were signed by Paul Rudd. And I haven't figured out any connection Paul Rudd has to Halloween, but he signed these books. There's actually a couple more of them on eBay that you can still get. don't know what the deal is with that, but it was just kind of an odd thing I found when I was looking into this book. But it has maintained kind of that $40 price range. There's only 3,000 of these. Halloween is a popular series. So, moving on to number 2 on the list is a 1 in 25 Bartel Life of Captain Marvel, number 4. This is a beautiful cover. This is actually one I really wanted back in the fall. I never would bite the bullet on the prices. I still am unwilling to bite the bullet because you'll see, basically it was a hot variant. Not many shops were ordering 25 copies of Life of Captain Marvel. It's kind of like number 3 that took off and got the variant for number 3, the Virgin, that took off and got really expensive. This one hasn't done that, but right out of the gate, it jumped to a $40 to $50 book. For 1 in 25, that's pretty good. That's almost double. It's still basically a $35 to $40 book. And although 9.8, there's been 3 sales. 75, 80, and 125 have been the 3 9.8 sales, which is not too outrageous for a $35, $40 book. The only currently listed 9.8 though is they're asking $200 for. So just a really gorgeous cover. Nothing really special about the book. I guess this is the reveal of the Carol's mom. If you haven't read it, was actually Kree, and that's how she got her powers. But it's not the first appearance of her mom. So, but anyway, there's not, like I said, nothing really key about this. It's really just a cover sustaining this one and a 1 in 25. Last on the list this week is kind of an oddball for the list. Basically, they listed The Walking Dead Blind Bags as the number 1 hot book of the week. And if you remember, these were kind of everywhere. There were lots of them. Initially, books were kind of going crazy. Even like the Virgin books, the Virgin Black and Whites of some of the more popular covers were going for $30, $35. The regular Virgins, even though they weren't really that rare, were going for $15, $20. And then there were these secret variants that nobody knew about. The number 1, the ones they cite were the number 100 Negan variant with the word bubbles that was going for $150 back then. There was also a J. Scott Campbell sketch variant that was going for $150, $200. These appear to still be pretty popular, although for everything but the secret variants that nobody really knows exactly what the ratio on them was, prices have come back considerably. Now, like, the regular color ones, and they're basically going for what cover in there was like $1 or something, for a couple bucks at most. The black and white with the trade is basically going for a couple bucks. The Virgin color ones of these are $5 to $10 depending on the cover. The Virgin black and white ones are $5 to $15 depending on the cover. But those secret variants still are going strong. I didn't look up all of them, but the Negan, the 1 in 100 Negan that they mentioned there's only been 1 recent sale of that. I couldn't find any listed anywhere, and it was for $270 is what it sold for. There have been no recent sales of the sketch J. Scott Campbell variant, and that was 19, I believe, or issue 19. But the only one listed, they're currently asking $350, and those are not slab; those are just raw covers. So, still appear to be a popular book. I wouldn't be surprised if the result is we see more of the blind bag kind of thing. But yeah, so that's this week's list. Source and Ogre were a couple of indie books that kind of maintained a little bit. Legionnaires, Captain Marvel 16 were some characters that spiked, not sure why, and then dropped back. We had some hot covers in the Red Sonja, the Heroes in Crisis, the Life of Captain Marvel. They've all kind of maintained a little bit, and they've come back more realistically. They've come back a little bit, but they still maintain pretty decent value. We had Golden Age and Strange Stories, but really hasn't been any data to add to that story of it getting hot. It's just a pre-code horror that people like. And then those blind bags. So this was kind of an interesting week. If you stayed through all the cat shenanigans, I appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe. Hopefully I won't actually re-record this, but we'll see what I think when I'm watching it. So we will talk to you later. Bye.